pieces of her life back together after enduring the unimaginable on April 29th, 2024, while visiting a friend's house in Chicago's Greater Grand Crossing neighborhood.
Like a target board practice, almost like he had been practicing all chest and stomach shots.
Pettis' life changed forever when she says her friend's brother, high on drugs, shot her 5 times in the abdomen. She was given a 2% chance of surviving.
I also struggled with my digestive system and had to be totally repaired.
Medical records show loss of blood flow led to the amputation of her left leg. Before the 15 surgeries and 150 blood transfusions Pettis had to save her life, she did CrossFit 5 times a week and worked in the hospitality industry.
I also was back in school for nutrition as well, which I had to stop going to school because I couldn't afford to pay.
Her family set up this GoFundMe to help Pettis. She's applied for jobs to work from home, but hasn't been able to find work.
I'm on a strict no return work order from my doctor's office because of ongoing medical conditions.
She's also applied for assistance from various city agencies, among them the Department of Family Support Services Rental Assistance Program, who denied her application, and the Emergency Supplemental Victims Fund, who she says also denied her application. Pettis also applied for benefits through Social Security and was denied by them too. They told her she didn't qualify for benefits and was not disabled under their rules. Do you feel you've been re-victimized?
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is re-victimization all over again.
As if things couldn't get any worse, Pettis says she's now facing eviction from her South Loop apartment after she's been unable to get the city funding she needs to pay her rent.
If I don't get the funding, I have nowhere to go except a homeless shelter.
The 31-year-old is starting a nonprofit called Heal and Thrive to help other survivors.
I feel like God put me in this position for a reason.
A woman who has other survivors in her heart as she continues her own fight for survival.
I'm still in survival mode. I still haven't been able to properly heal or process what has happened to me.
Suzanne Lemonnier, CBS News, Chicago.
Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to call praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashimi Hawashai Ba'ashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in the gospel broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh Ba'ashim Hawashai, wherever it may be. Give me 1 second, man. Let me pull this back up.
For half the price, Roe now offers
commercials.
Kalisha.
But basically what you're seeing here is a so-called black woman that was shot. I think she mentioned about her cousin's boyfriend or something like that from what I can get. But basically, long story short, man, she was hospitalized and had to get her leg amputated because, she lost so much blood. 15 surgeries and over 150 blood transfusions. That's a heavy judgment that the Heavenly Father has put on this woman. And she stated at the end that she believed that the Most High put her in this predicament for a reason. And, clearly it ain't to evangelize, all right? So clearly there was an offense with the Heavenly Father regarding this woman, okay? Whether what she did in this life or the past life, we don't know. But she meant this, that she was a she did like CrossFit or something like that. Powerlifting, and we know that a lot of these women take pride.
Pettis had to save her life. She did CrossFit 5 times.
Yeah, CrossFit. A lot of these women take pride in their appearance and their ability to do things on tandem with men, because there's a competition between women, okay, women competing with men, and they feel like they're better than men, so therefore they engage in all these sports and they want to get these high positions of pristine and power. Pristine in power, just to be over the man, just to say, well, look, we're better than men. All right, now, I don't know what went of this, because, of course, the story is always one-sided. But for him to shoot her 5 times in the stomach, she said he was on drugs. Okay, and that could be a case, but why did he target you out of other people? Okay, was you just in his presence, or was you mouthing off, or was you insulting him, or was you, slinging inhominos? Because a black woman is notorious for going below the belt and hitting below the belt. With that savage tongue of hers, man. She'll, she'll say things that's pretty offensive, and then certain men, they just can't hold back, and they'll release the fury on the women. So but whatever it was, it caused her to be physically maimed, and like the scriptures say, whoever perished being innocent, though she's still with us, it's the point. The Lord brought judgment. So you women, man, you're losing. Okay, you heard what she said. She said she's in survival mode, which most of you are, because most of you don't have no money, don't have men or husbands, multiple baby daddies, and the list goes on. So you so-called black women, man, you're losing, man. There was a video the other day that I believe a black woman, I think she was in the military or some type of, not military, she was doing some type of service. I don't know if she was getting ready to sing an anthem or something, and then she just fell out. Matter of fact, let me look it up real quick. Black woman falls out. Wow. Hold on. Let me see something real quick. I'll say this, not falls out, faints. I remember when Wendy Williams, when she fainted, that shit was wild. Okay, here we go. All right, and that's just a small clip, but we know that the so-called black woman, and it says this perfectly captured America's plummeted to the abyss. Wow. Yeah. It says I went searching for it to see if this is real. Oh shit. Me too, same. And people are making money off. People are making mockery of the black woman, man. And hey, you're through. Okay, you don't have too many people coming to your defense. All right, and I'm not saying what happened to this. Not this one. This other young lady, which was shot 5 times in the gut. But hey, you called a spade a spade. What did you do? What did you say? Because you got to question that now. Because these women, they're completely out of order. Okay. They're too many in abundance, and yet far in between they're humble, meaning they're not really humble, So she appeared to be nice looking. She seems pretty humble. But prior to that, who's to say that she was humble? GoFundMe, she raised $19,700. So clearly she could pay her rent. Her goal was $25K. She damn near raised her goal. But it says, help Kalisha heal and thrive. But even through all that money, you'll never be the same again because your digestive system is off. You don't have proper working limbs. You're in pain. You got to constantly take medication. It's not a life to live, to say the least. All right. Proverbs 16:18. Pride goeth before destruction, and the haughty spirit before fall. Yeah. And we're seeing the tenets of this kingdom collapse. Okay. Because ultimately the people, they're just proud and prideful and haughty. It says, better it is to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoils with the proud. Okay. And a lot of you people, man, you rather be of a proud spirit, and you want to engage and partake in the festivities of this world, man. Okay, while indulging in wickedness and sin. Look this up. Yeah, but you black women are dead. You're through. And nobody's coming to your defense at all. Peep this. This is the book of Sirach 30. And I'm going to start at verses 14. It says, better is the poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body. Health and good state of body are above all gold, because nothing beats when you feeling like gold, man. Okay, when you got those mornings when you optimal, you feel pretty decent, you ain't all messed up. hey, you know, it's like, goddamn, you feel like you can literally leap buildings. And you got them days when your body just ain't, you know, your body ain't corresponding with your mind, and you just like, you know what, I just want to be left alone. I'll catch y'all on the other side, you know. But here it says, health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above effeminate wealth. Because you got rich men, okay, rich men that can't even spend and enjoy their riches because they're so through. Okay, like David Rockefeller, he had 6 heart transplants. Okay, but yet he's one of the richest men in the world. Okay, what he was. Okay, he come from one of the top elite families, the Rockefeller, which is the American equivalent of the Rothschilds. He come from that stock of Edomite men. Okay, wealthy, would miss a meal in 3 lifetimes, man. You know, but yet he had to get 6 heart transplants. At this point, the Most High was like, you know what, nigga, I'm tired of your ass. Call the spirit back to the spirit world. So yeah, it's better to be poor and healthy than rich and rich and in pain and broken, destroyed. And that's pretty much her, because she gonna get the 25 bands and probably more than that. But then again, it's just like, yeah, you got the money, but shit, baby, how you gonna live life? Okay, the faculties ain't even working anymore. But it says here, there's no riches above a sound body and no joy above the joy of the heart. It says death is better than a bitter life or continued sickness, man. And she's pretty much sick because, for the simple fact, she's in a main body. And let's listen to
Also
some more.
applied for benefits through Social Security and was denied by them too. They told her she didn't qualify for benefits and was not
So you see, your ventures is failing, black woman. Okay, your ventures is failing. The Lord is cutting the ventures, because in days, in the ancient, well, I won't say in the ancient world, but back in the day, they was willingly giving you black women money. You know what I'm saying? You was getting money just for putting your baby daddies on child support. Okay, you was getting money for existing. They give you programs. You know, when it comes to the financial aid, when it comes to welfare, Section 8, you were first in line, and you were being fed with all these dainties. Now they ain't even giving you shit. And they got programs for people like this. She's basically disabled, but they cutting a lot of disability, Medicare or Medicaid, one of them. Okay, they've cutting a lot of funding, man, due to this budget cuts. And they're putting all the money into the military and into ICE, and they're cutting and they're taking money away from you people. And you women, you gonna suffer the most, because you the one that's, you know, you benefited the most off this system. It says you do not qualify for benefits. You are not disabled under our rules. Shooting survivors, new flight. And they look at it like, well, look, bitch, you just got shot. It ain't like, you know, you dying from a chronic illness. They like, well, shit, you got shot. You probably put yourself in, you know, in a line of fire, you know. And that's how they think about you people. You know, because being shot is unfortunate. That shit, you get bullets and projectiles ain't meant to go in bodies, man. Okay, you get shot in certain organs, man. It's really through the grace of the Most High that you even survive something like that. And clearly, she's going to be suffering for the rest of her life. So you be right off in the spirit world than to live a life like that, man.
disabled under their rules.
Do you feel you've been re-victimized?
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is re-victimization all over again.
And of course you're being re-victimized, because in your mindset, you always the victim. No matter what, they say, you know, you drew first blood, but yet somebody draws final blood, then you're the victim. You can literally run somebody off the road, or you can literally fuck somebody's life up. But the minute they start to get back at you, then all of a sudden you're the victim. So how are you a victim because they're not giving you benefits that they don't feel you qualify for? And with the shooting ordeal, yeah, it's unfortunate because we don't know what happened, but knowing the history of the black woman, she's very disrespectful. Okay, and it's not surprising that a lot of them go to the spirit world behind their attitudes and behaviors, because they merit that. Okay, they bring it upon themselves, man. Okay, the scriptures say don't bring upon destruction of your own hands. A black woman do that shit with her mouth, her behaviors. So overall, I mean, yeah, you could call yourself a victim, but are you really a victim, or is it just judgment?
As if things couldn't get any worse, Pettis says she's now facing eviction from her South Loop apartment after she's been unable to get the city funding she needs to pay her rent.
If I don't get the funding, I have nowhere to go except a homeless shelter.
The 31-year-old is starting a nonprofit called Heal and Thrive to help other survivors.
I feel like God put me in this position for a reason.
A woman who has other survivors in her heart as she continues her own fight for survival.
I'm still in survival mode. I still haven't been able to properly heal or process what has happened to me.
Suzanne Lemonnier, CBS News, Chicago.
Man, the Lord is very terrible. That's why you're going to need a man. Isaiah 32, it says, and a man should be as a hiding place from the wind, and and a cover from the tempest, as the rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So you're going to need a man in that day. All you women going to need men. All that, I'm bad and independent, I don't need a man, my career, this and that. You substitute status and convenience over being an upstanding person, man. Not knowing that status and convenience, it comes back and bites you in the long run. You know, because a lot of times when you get this status in the workplace, you can't even handle it mentally because of the workload, which proves that you're not built for that. Okay, Isaiah 32:9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease, and hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Hey, listen. Many days in the year shall you be troubled, ye careless black women. For the vengeance shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. The vengeance is clearly failing. They said, you do not qualify for what we got to give. You don't qualify. Here she has no leg no more, no foot. She's messed up. She's getting ready to get evicted. She can't work, you know. And usually you can apply for disability because clearly she's disabled, you know, and she wants to work, but they're not allowing her to work because they don't feel she's capable of doing the job. But many days in the year shall you be troubled, you careless women, for the vengeance shall fail and the gathering shall not come. Yeah, so you better humble down, black woman. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare and gird sackcloth upon your loins. It says, for they shall lament, which is crying, for the teats and for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. And upon the land of my people should come up thorns and briars, yea, upon all the houses of the joyous cities, man. All right. So anyway, quick lesson, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Lord's will, you were edified. To the next lesson.